Afternoon everyone. Today is Sunday the 5th of May 2024 and this is Flosstube number 16. I'm Lindsay, Cheshire Stitcher, both here on Flosstube and over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel. It's a channel that's mostly about cross stitch, but I do share other crafts. Today I've got some bead weaving and some more project bags that I've made. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. It's lovely to see you again. If you are a new viewer, big welcome to you. It's nice to have you here. And if you are a new viewer, you may not be aware that once I reached 500 subscribers, I was going to do a giveaway. Well, I've reached it. So a bit later on in this video, there will be a giveaway. Two of the items have been donated, so I'll tell you about them at the time. So today I've also got a couple of new starts. I've got PhDs, I've got a plan, I've got some haul. My notes are down here, which is why I'm looking down. So, and of course, the giveaway. Let's start with the bags, simply because they're on my lap. I've made quite a few over the last week. Yesterday I went to create nostalgia for a day of stitching with friends and some stash enhancement, hence the haul. And I took some of the bags with me that I've made, and a few of them found new homes. So I was quite chuffed about that. Now means I've got some pennies to go and buy some more fabric for more bags. So first of all, we have this. I bought this to be used as a lining fabric, but thought I would make a bag with it. This has just got plain white in it. Most of them have, but if you look, my zips are getting better. I'm getting far more used to using the zipper foot. My corners are getting better. Everything's a bit more even. They are more consistent in size, so I'm really happy that I'm starting to get the hang of them. I've got that one. I've got this one. This is one of my favourites so far, and this is for me. I put the last metre of this fabric, so... Oh, I've got a bit of a thread on there. Just get rid of that. This is the lining fabric. The scissors on the back. And this currently houses my mania start from last week. So I'll show you that in a while. I've also got one with purple flowers all over it. And then this blue spotty is the liner. I've been trying to use up fabrics that are in my stash that I've had for I don't know how long, some of them. We've got this one. This is the fabric I used for Jeanette's one that I mentioned in my last video that I gave her for her birthday, which she absolutely adores. She put, what did she put in it? Christmas garden, I think she put in it. I think it was, I can't remember. She has told me, but brain like a sieve. And then lastly, we have that one. Love hearts all over. So those are my bags that I've been making. And to say I did make a few that have gone to new homes already. So next up is my beading. Obviously this is my beaded cirque to cirque. I always struggle to show you this because it's awkward and it's slippy. So there we go. Now, if you know this chart, Cirque de Cirques by Ink Circles, it's printed over 6 pages. Well, I have done 4 of those 6 pages and I've had a count up. I have got 78.5 rows left. So when I go to my beading group again in a couple of weeks' time, I will take that with me again, so there will be another few rows done on it. The other thing I've been working on is a box. May not be able to tell, it's a snowman stood beside trees. This is the one that I wanted to start, but had to wait till I ordered the blue for it, for the sky, because the one that was called for I didn't like very much. It's from a designer called Tracy Lorraine. Crystal Star Gems, I think a site is. I will link it down below for you. So this is what I've been working on. That's my beading project. Why do we say below? Down. I always say down below, but when I watch a video and I click on the more bit that brings up all the information, it always comes up at the right hand side. It's never below. Just one of those random thoughts that comes into your head, or at least comes into my head. Right, so we've done. My notes are down here. If I haven't already said that, that's what I'm looking at. I do apologise if it's off-putting, but if I don't make notes, I'll never remember stuff. So let's go on to new starts. So, as you may remember, I said I was starting my next Love Quilt Square. This is BB8. And of course, yesterday, being May the 4th, Star Wars Day, I had to put some progress on him. So I added about 300 stitches last night. I was hoping for more, but couldn't keep my eyes open. So he's got to be done by the end of this month. So hopefully in my next video, he will be no longer with us. That makes sense? Yeah. The day he's due is the day that my next video will be recorded, unless I get a chance before then. So you'll just have to make do with a picture of him next time. He's lovely to stitch, he's quite quick. He is a chart that's in the files of Love Quilts. I do apologise if the camera wobbled then. Rosie's just run past and I think she caught the table as she went. Yeah, he's in the files of Love Quilts. So he's only available for members. And as ever, if you have a child in your family or you know of a child that may benefit from a quilt, please do go along to the website and register them for the lottery. If you're interested in stitching for us, again, go along, have a look at the website. As you look at it, on the left hand side, there is one section called Stitching Directions. So it tells you what size fabric you need, what you can and can't stitch, all that kind of stuff. Very useful information. We're always in need of stitchers. We're always in need of children. That sounds a bit wrong, but there we go. So that's that one. I am enjoying him. It's the only time I stitch on Ada. So, right, my other new start was for Mania. And I was starting this. Flossie Sews and Grows has started it. And when she first of all mentioned it a couple of months ago, I thought, I've got that chart, I'll join in. And then decided that I would start it for Mania. Now, I don't do pink. So I sat with my drawer full of crescent colours. They are crescent colours, it says crescent colours because I've had them that long. Sat there and I was like, right, what do we fancy? And I just basically pulled out a variety of purples. So that's as far as I've got. This fabric is 36 count straw flower from Lakeside Linens. I had a piece the right width and a bit too long, but chopped it off, so it's ideal. I will be making it into a pillow. As I say, I went through and I pulled out colours. So this is my palette. I need to remember, I always do that. I end up with that clip in front of my face. Mind you, that might be a good thing. You know, I can see my ugly mug. So this is my colour palette. As I say, I just went through and pulled out and thought, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. And this is what we've ended up with. This one and this one. No, not that one. This one. Are the two that I'm using for the tops and the bottoms of the bobbins. See? And see? My more say crescent colours. I've had them that long. Very rarely buy fancy floss now because I've got so much of it that I don't use. So, let's go on to the PhDs. I have been steadily working on Jeanette's birthday start. If you remember last time round, I had an itch. Now, I'm itching. I've been working on it this morning, hence the hanging thread. But there's not a huge amount left to do on it really. I've got the S and the T. There's another couple of buttons here. I've got the scissor fob and a bobbin down here. And then I think there's about four or five skeins of thread to do here. And this pile of fabric to complete. Now I took this with me yesterday to create nostalgia. And whilst I was there, I suddenly realised that I'd been working on this, which, when it's got the back stitch on, is a pack of needles. But if you look at the picture, it's not there. It's not there. It suddenly dawned on me while I was working on it yesterday. Hadn't noticed that until then. I'm using the called for DMCs and my fabric is 32 count vintage pear from Lakeside Linens, piece that had been in my stash for I don't know how long. So I will be working on this again later on this afternoon, so I will finish that tomato off, finish off this sampler that's, because there's a band there and a band there and then a couple of rows of the cream. So if I get that done today, I'll be happy, but hopefully I'll get more than that done. Loving it. Next time round, all being well, this will be finished and it might even be FFO'd. You never know. It does happen. But I had to take it off the frame, so I just need to move the bits out of the way. There we go. Next up, I have been working on the memorial for my mum. Not done a lot. I've basically done a bit more of a line. And I've just realised I didn't pick the picture up to show you. So, never mind. If you want to see what the picture looks like, have a look at Flosstube number 15. It's on there. But literally all I've done is a bit more of this blue line. I finished off the length of silk that I had on it. I haven't done the S because I'm going to do that in a purple because that was my mum's favourite colour. So her initials will be done in the purple. And I've got about, what, 6-7 weeks to get it finished. I want it finished by the time it would have been her birthday, which would have been the 25th of June. I started it on the 22nd of January, which was the 1 year anniversary of her passing. So it's not very big, as you can see. I think its finished size is something like 7x5. It's a kit that came from the Cross Stitch Guild. And my needle minder, I don't normally leave needle minders on, as I've said before, but this one was a gift off my mum. It's one of Agnes' little minders. So that lives on there. My other project that I've been working on is, as ever, the commission piece. I've left this in the frame because all I've really done on it since last time is this band. this band is the one that's going to have wording on it that you won't get to see because it's very personal to the gentleman I'm stitching it for. But you can see I've finished that band off now. I've put the green top and bottom, and I've got, I don't know, about 20 rows of the dark green to do, and then I will have all 4 corners on it because I've already done top 2 corners. This month I am going to come back up to the top and get some confetti done. I moved away from it and did this band because my partner was off for 2 weeks during April, and trying to concentrate and do confetti when he's around is just not going to happen. He talks to me constantly. My last PhD is the love of my stitching life. My Union flag from Visters on Etsy. I adore this project. I keep telling you that, but I do. Absolutely love it. So this time round I have put, sorry if you heard that, Liz is playing. I have put 687 stitches into it this time round. Every time. I do need to get around to buying a board rather than using this clipboard. So 687 stitches in it. I was hoping to get it to 5%, but I haven't quite managed that. I'm now at 4,787. 4,787. Take me teeth out. Of 96,670, which is 4.95%. I was hoping to get to the 5%, but one evening when I picked it up I was tired and I just couldn't keep my eyes open. So my fabric is 40 count Bluetiful from Fabrics by Crafty Kate. It's a dream to stitch on. Wonderful fabric. If you've never tried Fabrics by Crafty Kate, I highly recommend them. Highly recommend them. They're lovely to work with. And that was it. That's it. I don't have huge amounts of stitching to share this time round because I've been busy sometimes. I've been too tired. Last Saturday when I went up to the Yorkshire Stitching Retreat, Stitching Day, you may remember in my last video I said I was teaching for the day. I didn't get to do one single stitch. I got home, I picked my stitching up, and I think I managed about 74 stitches before I fell asleep. So, just too tired to do anything. So, no progress that day. So, on to my next new start. My next mania start is going to be this. It was one of my market purchases this year. Full little kit. I'm not going to take it out because it's a very noisy thing. I am considering having a go at tea dyeing the fabric because I've never done that. So I thought I might, just because that seems a bit too stark. And rather than faff about and find another piece of fabric, I thought I'd have a go at tea dyeing. If I do it and I don't like it, then I'll find another piece of fabric for it. But that will be my next mania start on Thursday. And then the week after is my birthday. So I will be having my birthday start. And that will be this. Now, if I remember rightly, this picture, I'm sure somebody said this picture was taken at the Great British Sampler weekend. I could be wrong, but you can see it's huge. Absolutely massive. It's a free design on, oh, there we go. I can never say it. That's who it's on. It says male, but it is actually it's Dutch, it's a Dutch website. So each week you get another band. There's 41 bands in total. So you just click on this link here and it will take you to that week's band. There are a few speciality stitches in it, and they have rather nicely put, say, like parts 1 to 8 together, and then parts 9 to 15, they're all on. So you're not printing out a single page if you're like me, starting it late. So that will be my birthday start on the 16th. And I am going to be doing it on just plain white 40 count. And I will be using, sorry, I've got one attached that I don't need, a variety of red silks. There's all sorts in here. I've got, what's that one? That one, that's a Silken Colours. I just thought I would use up lots of bits and pieces. I've got some that are left over, some that are new. That's Dinky Dye's silk, that's called Heartthrob. Hasn't made it onto a bobbin yet, onto a floss drop. These floss drops were a custom order for me from Project Stitch Craft. She also did me a bit of ring bling. So I've got in here MPIs. These were on bobbins, they weren't mine. I wouldn't have put them on bobbins. So various MPIs, shades of red. That is a Silks for You that I bought. A friend was selling her hank when we went to the Nimble Thimble last year, and I bought a little bit of it, but she hasn't got any more. So that's probably going to be the main red. I've got Vicky Clayton silks, which I think now are now hand dyed fibres. These are from some little sample packs I bought years ago, and they've just been sitting in my stash. And then I have a Steph Francis silk. I don't know if Steph Francis is still going or not, to be fair. Well, she must be, because the silk in my mum's one is a Steph Francis, and that's not an old kit, that's a relatively new kit, so she must still be dying, mustn't she? I'll have to go and have a look. I've got a Gloriana coming. I know this because Jeanette bought it yesterday for me at Create Nostalgia as part of my birthday box, but obviously I haven't got my birthday box yet because it's not my birthday. As I said, I'm just going to do it on 40 count. I'm going to do the smaller one. There's two versions. There's one that's 200 stitches wide, and there's one that's 103 stitches wide that's designed to go on banding. It's not that I feel that the wider one is going to be too much. It's a case of I have some spools upstairs, and I've measured, they are old spools, they are antique spools, and I've measured the gap in between, you know, I haven't got you know what I mean, you've got your top and your bottom, the gap, the actual bar bit is 5.5 inches. Well, working on 40 count, if I do the 103 one, I should be able, I will double check, I will be able to, when it's eventually finished, I can put it on the spool. Because I bought the spools not knowing what I was going to do with them, and I thought, that would be quite nice. So that's the plan. If it doesn't work, then I'll have a rethink. So let's do haul. No, let's do the giveaway, because I know some people don't like haul, so I'll do the giveaway. Now, as I said yesterday, I went to Create Nostalgia, and a friend was there, Hazel, who runs Pretty Little Thread Keeps on Facebook, and she very kindly donated, because I'd said about doing my giveaway today, she very kindly donated this one. She told me to go pick one, so I picked this one. That's her card. I will link her, but it was very kind, very generous of her. I've known Hazel for quite a few years now, but yeah, so it's got cats on it. Are you going to focus? Are you going to be nice and focus? And it's got a lovely little blue gem. There we go. It's focusing. So that is giveaway number 1. Now this one, I'm afraid, is going to be UK only because of the cost of posting it. So we will have, let's have keep for this one. Let me just write that down, because otherwise, brain like a sieve, I will forget. So that is number 1. Number 2, Jeanette donated this. Again, she knew I was going to be doing a giveaway at some point, so she gave me this. You may remember we stitched this last year. I still haven't made mine up. I will get round to it eventually. So Jeanette has donated that one. So we will, this one I will post anywhere because it's just a chart. This one we will go for embroidery. For that one, again, I need to write it down. Then another one of mine, we stitched it last year. One of my floss tubes has got me with a bit of a silly look on my face with this beside me. Craft supplies and other lies. So again, I will post this anywhere because it is just the chart. Really fun stitch. And as I say, if you go back and look through older videos, I think it's somewhere sort of like numbers 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there, you can see this in progress. And then lastly, when I went to, oh, duh, you need a word for that one, don't you? That one. So we will go with lies. We'll go with lies for that one. Now, when I went to the Yorkshire Stitching Day last week, there was a lady getting rid of a lot of stash because she needs to move into assisted living. So she needs to downsize. So she took lots of stash. That comes under haul, obviously. But most of them had, oh, pardon me. Most of them had fabric in them. One of them's got to have this massive piece of aida. I don't stitch on aida. So I decided that this piece can be a giveaway. It measures approximately 36 by 30 inches. Don't do centimetres. I would have brought up with feet and inches. I get them. And it's an 18 count and it's a cream. It's a humongous piece of fabric. So, excuse me, what are you playing with? Lizzie, don't you answer me back. Sorry, she's pinched a wooden form for beading and she's trying to eat the bag. Let me rescue it off the cat. No. That's what she's pinched. It's a bell, obviously. It was my mum's. It's an ornament, Christmas tree ornament, and it was on my beading desk, so she's been on my desk and pinched it. She's not supposed to go on there, she knows that. Right, anyway, back to this. It's a creamy piece of aida that will never ever get used at my house because I only stitch on aida for love quilts and we have to use white. We can't use cream or off-white or ecru, I think it has to be white. So this is giveaway number 4 and we'll just go with aida for that. it would be fun if you can incorporate them into some sort of interesting sentence, but just the words will be fine. Please be a subscriber. Don't mention giveaway, prize, anything like that in your comment, because I don't want people that aren't stitchers, just want free stuff, to enter. And please be over 18 so that I can get your postal address off you. So that's it for the giveaway, isn't it? That's it. I've only ever done one other giveaway and there was only 2 people that entered, and I forgot all that stuff. But you know the rules, you know, I need to ask you for your address and stuff like that. So let's go on to haul. Oh, before I go on to my haul, for those that don't want to see it, which is fair enough, I like to see haul because I'm nosy. My next video will be on the 26th of May, because the 19th of May incorporates my husband, he's not my husband yet, my partner's long weekend off. So unless something happens and I manage to get it any earlier, it will be on the 26th of May, which will be the day before the next bank holiday, which we've got tomorrow. And I don't know what the weather's doing, but it's probably going to rain tomorrow. It's England. Of course it's going to rain on a bank holiday. So, first of all, I forgot to say yesterday, let's start with these. When I went to Create Nostalgia yesterday, Jeanette passed on a couple of charts that she's finished. She knew I liked this one, so she's passed that one on to me. Plum Street Stamp, blah, blah, blah. Plum Street Samplers, Pomegranate Santa. And when we went to Create Nostalgia last year, just her and I for the day, she bought this. And at the time, it was the only copy they had. So it was a case of, as happens with us frequently, when you stitch that, I'm having it. So she passed it on to me. I don't think she stitched the border on hers. I know she was debating not doing the border, and I don't think she has. But yeah, it's a sunflower. Stylised sunflower, but still a sunflower. So that will be on my radar at some point in the future. What holds my stitching up more than anything is the commission piece. Because I have to work on it day in, day out. I was also, from somebody else that attended, and I forgot to ask if I could mention her name, so I won't. She gave me this because I'd commented on one that she'd done from the set. So she passed me on the chart. I could have gone back to the shop and bought the little wooden hearts that they go on, and I'm like, it doesn't matter, I'll be here again, they'll still be here. I'm in no rush. But they are cute, aren't they? I do like, even though I don't like faces, I do like that little ladybug. Right, so the haul from last week, from the one that's having to downsize. Now that big huge piece of Aida that I'm giving away was kitted up with this. I do like sewing themed things, projects. So I don't know when I'll get to do it, but yeah, that piece of Aida was kitted up for this because it's big. It's 65 wide by 289 high. So it's quite a big project. On 18 count, it would be 3.5 inches by 16. Do you know what? That's another one, isn't it? I've got 2 of those spools that I mentioned earlier. If I did that on 36 count, I could use the other spool and hang it off the spool. Tonner's one, the red one, would probably end up being wrapped round it. But that one, I could hang it off the spool itself. support. But again, I've no idea when I'll get to it. From her stash, I also got a kit. Ignore that, that's not what I paid for it. Because sewing does mend the soul. I do like that little sewing machine. But it's very true. I am far more relaxed. Even my grandsons, aged 3 and 4, have noticed that Granny gets grumpy if she doesn't get to stitch. So that kit. I also picked up that. Doesn't have the buttons with it, but I'm not too bothered. I have a tendency to leave buttons off things anyway, mostly because I can't be bothered to add them. And sometimes you don't really need it. But having said that, this has got little bees on it here, see? I could and may well do my temperature chart that I haven't touched this month yet. I'm now 2 months behind on that. Really do need to do something about that. Anyway, that has bees on it. So if I feel inclined at the time, I can stitch those bees on. But then again, I might try and track down the button pack for it. I don't know. I'll make that decision when I come to stitch it, which I have no idea when that will be. I also picked up this. Rosie and Me, I've never heard of them. I'm going to guess that Rosie's the dog. Is it a dog? Yeah, dog. I've got a cat called Rosie, haven't I? This might be my Thursday start, my mania starts the week after my birthday. I haven't decided that far ahead what I'm going to start on that day. I'll decide a bit closer to, but it might well be this. I got this. This was kitted up with a piece of fabric and a couple of threads. I don't like those colours for this. And when I pulled it out, it's actually been started. But again, I'm not very keen on the fabric for it that she's put with it. So that may well be a start in the near future, you never know. And then lastly, I run on coffee. I really do run on coffee. Probably have one at least once an hour when I'm at home. So I thought that would look quite good in the kitchen. Again, when I get to do it, I have no idea. That was the stuff I picked up from the Lady D stashing at the Yorkshire Stitching Retreats Day last week. Excuse me. As I said yesterday, I went to create nostalgia for the day and picked up a few things. I got a couple of DMCs. You don't really need to see them. You know what DMC looks like. I got a couple of silk moris to add to my red silks. I don't think I've ever stitched with them. Could be wrong, but you know. I've been stitching for 33 years this year. So there's a good chance I have stitched with them at some point and I just don't remember it. Jeanette asked me a question this morning and I'm going, I don't know. I might have done, I can't remember. 33 years stitching, can't remember everything. So yeah, 2 more reds. And as I said, I know Jeanette bought one for me yesterday as well. A Gloriana, which I will get for my birthday. I found these pins. Whip Queen, which, you know, as you know, I don't call my projects whips, I call them PhDs, which I've just realised I didn't say, for those that don't know, are potential happy dances, because we all do a happy dance when we finish something. X-Stitch Addict and Stash Collector. and I bought these to go on the stitching on that. Never occurred to me to look for the pins that are featured in this, because these are puntini pins, but it never occurred to me to look for those. I was just flipping through and saw them and thought, oh, so there we go. Pardon me. I got myself a piece of 40 count platinum permin. Again, I don't remember ever having stitched on permin linen. It's entirely possible I have, so I just thought I would buy a small piece to give it a go, and because they weren't labelled, I've written it on my own, surprise surprise, sunflower post-it note, and stuck it in the bag so I know what it is, what make it is, what count it is. As you do, I picked up another stitching themed chart, Tiny Modernist. Now I know I've never stitched a Tiny Modernist. I have a few of them, and I don't think that would take that long to do, to be fair. It is 68 by 92. So again, it's a potential mania start toward the end of the month. We've had one Thursday, we've got 4 left. I've got 2 projects planned. So it could be another mania start. Wait and see. We'll just wait and see. Depends when I start thinking about what I want to start, what grabs me at the time. I do know when I was thinking about this, well, when I bought this, I bought it with the intention of starting it for mania, so that one I do know, but otherwise I'll just see what I fancy when I go looking, unless something pops into my head and it sort of won't leave. I also got that scissors, 3 for 3, so I'm assuming that the other ones also have 3 designs in it. And I've only just realised that there is a little scissor charm in it. There we go. A bit slow on the uptake, me, sometimes. So, I think I might have another couple of scissor charms floating around in my beading stash. So, I got that one. I also got Big Fine Needle, Brenda Gervais, the Snowball. So we've got that, and then there's those ones as well. I do like a snowman. Don't mind snowman faces. It's people faces I don't like. So you may well see some of these towards the end of the year. I think that's just the 5 designs. Oh no, there's 7. Let's see if we can find the other 2. There's that one. That's not on the front. And a recipe for something else. For Mum's popcorn balls. Let's have a look. I've got that one. We've seen that one. We've seen that one. Not very organised, am I? Photo booth fun, we've seen that one. That one. That's the other one. I don't want to bend the book. I was brought up that you do not bend a book. You don't break the spine. I would get yelled at for doing that. You put a bookmark in it. So that's the other snowman that's in it. I also bought a piece of vintage Snowy Sky. Is it Snowy Sky? No, vintage Storm Grey. 32 count Murano. Just because it's a nice size for a project. and I don't have huge amounts of grey fabric. And then lastly, she had a little display of sort of bee themed, so I got the last copy of that. Gathering Honey. I won't do it with the buttons in the centre. I'll do it with the little pattern that's in. There's two charts. One shows the button, and the other chart just shows the little thing in the middle. So again, you never know. Might be a mania start. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And that's it. I didn't go as mad as some people yesterday, and that's fine. Some people bought way more than me. One or two didn't buy anything at all. That's fine. I didn't want to buy huge amounts, so I was quite happy. I got what I wanted. So, and had a lovely day. Lots of stitching, lots of chatting, and one of the nicest things was in the afternoon, after we'd had our lunch, we were given homemade scones with jam and cream. Oh, lovely. Haven't had a homemade scone for a while. And it's done the right way, with the jam first and then the cream. I know some of you are going, so it'll be sitting there now going, no it's not, you have to put the cream on first. No, jam then cream. My dad was Cornish, and I was always brought up that if you put cream and then jam, you're a heathen. That's just the way it is. One way's the Cornish way, which is the jam first, then the cream, and then you've got the other way, which is, I think it's Devon, but I'm not sure. But you were a heathen. So there we go. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. I know I've rambled on a little bit at times, but I've kept it under an hour, which is about right for me. I think I've only ever done one over an hour, and that was my first one with my PhD parade, the one time I called them whips. So I will see you, as I said, 26th of May. Maybe it will be the 26th, because the 27th will be beading group. 26th of May, unless I can manage to squeeze one in before then, if my partner goes fishing or he's outside doing jobs for a couple of hours. Otherwise it will be the 26th of May. I will see you then. Enjoy the rest of your limited weekend on your bank holiday. Stay safe and happy stitching. Bye.